Well, good evening and happy Monday. We are so glad to be here with you. It has been a wonderful weekend of experimenting, a wonderful weekend of tasting, and we are ready to do some baking today. Now, I have to say ahead of time, my youngest sister gave me a challenge this Christmas to do something that I've never done, and that is making French macarons. It has been a true time, but I have mastered it and we're ready to get started. Now, what you see in front of you is our wonderful silicone mat that's in our baking pan. And of course, you can't do anything without your offset spatula. So I'm going to walk you through this quickly, but very accurately. So what you need to first do, take out 3 eggs from your refrigerator and let them become room temperature. It's very important to your mixture. You're going to take 1 1/3 cups of powdered sugar and 2/3 cups of almond flour and sift those two things together and set it aside. Once your eggs have become room temperature, you're going to take the egg whites only, and put in your mixer. You're going to mix those till they're nice and frothy, and then you're going to add 1/4 cup of regular granulated sugar. That will start to make your mixture form some nice stiff peaks. Then you're ready. At that moment, you're going to simply fold in, not in your mixture, but fold in with a spoon your almond flour and powdered sugar mixture into your eggs and sugar. A nice fold. Then at that point, you're going to put them in a nice piping bag and you're off to the races. Now, I will say there are several steps to this. And this is what has made it difficult, made it a challenge, but I have risen to the challenge. At that point, you're going to pipe your macarons onto your silicone mat. What happens, you have 2 separate circles here. You're going to pipe into the smaller circle because as they cook, they're going to expand just a little. Now, the trick to the perfect macaron I have discovered, you're going to let your mixture rest for 30 minutes on your silicone baking sheet so they can get just a little stiff. Pop them in the oven at 350, 6 minutes. Now, you say 6 minutes? What am I going to do? What happens with your 6 minutes? For example, if you're like I am, you had 2 separate trays ready to go. So you have one on the bottom rack, one on the top. After 6 minutes, all you're going to do is switch your 2 trays in your oven to different levels and bake for another 6 minutes. Once they come out the oven, they're going to be nice and crispy. You're going to have these nice crispy tops. You want to test them just to make sure they're nice and crispy and crunchy. You're going to let them sit for 10 minutes. Then with your offset spatula, just nicely go and move them off your silicone mat, your wonderful circles. Now this is where we can have fun, and I've decided to have a little fun tonight with them. So I have some wonderful strawberry jam and some melting chocolate here. Now you may think, why melting chocolate? Because I want the chocolate to firm up just a little bit because I'm going to do something just a little fancy. Of course, you know it's all about the presentation. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Now, I have a few already ready that I have taken and put some regular strawberry jam inside. And those are ready and done. So my next crop, I have melted a nice little dish of melting chocolate. Give it a nice little stir here. And we're just going to place just a little on our macaron. Now mind you, as we're doing this, you have to remember, you're going to press 2 together. So you don't want to put a lot and then have chocolate squirting everywhere. Put your top on. There we go. Somebody said, well, what you about to do? Because that's just too simple. I'm going to then take my macaron and I'm going to dip it in my melting chocolate, only halfway. With a nice little point. And there we go. And place it back on our silicone mat to dry. Something very simple, but of course, as always, presentation is best. So I'm going to continue with our melting chocolate. Just a little bit there. Take a lid, put on it. Then I'm going to dip. That's a nice little screen and get them on. And put them on our silicone mat. And we're ready to go. Now, what happens with that? It gives us a good traditional, almost form of the black and white cookie, give you that look, and give you a pop of chocolate, let you know what's inside, and makes a nice presentation for us. Something fun at the end after we've done all of that hard work. And I mean it when I say it, all of that hard work making our macarons. So what happens when your younger sister gives you a challenge? You have to rise to the challenge because she's waiting to see what you're going to do. And I know she's in the wings waiting to see what creation I'm going to come up with these wonderful silicone mats that she gave me as a holiday gift. I'm so appreciative to her for doing that. And you know, it's one of those things how I think it's funny because as siblings, we've always been very close. But it's interesting that as we get older, it's something about we get even closer to each other and you learn more and you want to make sure that each other are successful. And this is an adventure I've been on with our wonderful Cooking with Dr. Mo, and she wanted to help me out and give me a challenge to do. So therefore, we have our simple vanilla macaroon with chocolate. We have macaroons filled with strawberry jam. Something great, something fun for you to do. I will tell you ahead of time, this is not one for the kids to assist because you will be upset when they make a mistake. And it's nothing that you can cover up from. So here we go. Our macaroons are ready. We are ready to have a wonderful time in front of the TV with a nice glass of rosé and a wonderful remote in our hands and ready to have a wonderful evening. So as I always say, from my family to yours, wishing you wonderful eating, wonderful celebrating, and wonderful rejoicing as a family, as friends, as loved ones. Have a great evening.